Buenos dias. We're back, kind of. Uh-oh, my door's open. 1 second. Uno momento. I just hit the wrong... Sorry, I did not mean to hit that button. I'm hitting all the wrong buttons. Okay, so I changed some settings on my firewall. So hopefully that improves the stream quality and we don't run into some of the issues. I also disabled I just disabled. I also disabled something, my VPN, or something, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, now look at this. Oh yeah, now the stream's running all nicely. Whoa, it seems to be running very nicely, actually. Can I just for a moment see? Okay, that's decent quality. Hey, you know what? We're gonna run with this. Cool. Cool. We're back. I think I'm just going to keep things the way they are right now. I'm just reviewing everything, making sure everything looks good. Obviously, it's a little dark in here. Maybe we'll brighten it up just a smidge. I'm probably going to eat dinner at some point. Excuse me. We're back, folks. I have yet to have somebody join the Discord. So, rspec. Let's just see. Rspec run a specific test file instead of all tests. How to? Yoda. Yeah, okay. Spec request. Okay, cool. Oh, you could even do it line by line. See how long it's been since I've done this. Testing was my first job, and then I never touched it again. Sadly enough. We have 2 viewers already. Wow. Spec. I think I would just go to requests. Oh, do I have to type it out? Requests API. And this will just test our requests. Nope, it's got to be a specific file. Okay. So we would do the nation spec.rb. No such file. Rspecs. Oh. Rspec spec. Yeah, that's how we run specific test files. Excuse me. So, our tests are passing. Woohoo! There we go. That's better than my crackly voice. So next comes actually building the API. Now that we have our test stuff configured, which I feel pretty good about. I'm back on Discord, by the way. So anyone watching the stream, you're welcome to use the stream chat. Actually, that is preferable. But if you're in the Discord, if you go to Discord and you go to voice channels, you'll see BitGod streams. I'm actually in there, and you should be able, if I'm not mistaken, you should be able to actually chat in there. Whatever you say, like whatever the chat is, it'll go on stream. Of course, I can mute at any time, but I know that sometimes one of our mods is in the live streams with us, sharing stuff. Wow, I forgot my gum. So let me just be right back. But I will literally be right back. So don't even fret. 2 seconds. Cool, guys, I'm back. Thanks for waiting. Okay, let's dig into it. I kind of was just messing around getting things set up, so give me a second while I get my bearings. Although I guess that's good for you guys too. I have some API controllers here, and I have some models here. It looks like of the model, I have nation, user. Okay, now I kind of recall this. This is our typical nation. Okay. Geez. I don't know where to start, to be honest. I'm going to go ahead and open the OG app on the right-hand side of the screen. We have a lot more controllers over here and a lot more models over here. Like a lot. And I think I've imported the same schema. I believe the schema is the same, which means no migrations. And if I'm correct in my assumptions, if I go to my DB, yes, exactly. There's no migration file. Oh, there's one. Oh yeah, because of the JOT token. That's normal though. That's expected. Okay. Let's just start kind of... Actually, let's do the user stuff. Let's get the user stuff out of the way, I think. I think we kind of did, though, with the auth. Let's just see if there is... What other user things are going on here? Okay. All right, this doesn't really... This isn't going to be important for this new version. So let's go to the next biggest model, nation. And let's just compare what we have going on here. We have some methods. We have the progress nation method. Honestly, let's just ask ChatGPT. This is my favorite thing to do. Can this be refactored? Just pasted a bunch of junk. I just want to see what it's going to do to refactor this. Oh yeah, puts the... Hey, where are my relationship? Oh. There we go. We're looking at the wrong one. Okay. We did some constant stuff. We did shared validations. Okay, cool. We removed some redundancy. Dried up the dependent options for has many and has one associations. Cool. Wait, what? Validation messages are refactored. Nice. That's so much better. I wanted to do that. Simplified callbacks. What? This thing did everything I wanted to do eventually. Let's just see how the code looks. Yeah. Yeah. Associations with dependent delete, except Alliance does not. So, not sure why that's there, but okay. That's, yeah, it's basically all the same. Yeah, okay, I see what they did. It is more readable, that's for sure. Existing logic. Do I have that? Method, cooldown method? I don't even remember. Reset tutorial, we're not even using that anymore. Then we have our custom validation methods. Yeah, cool. Hey dude, thanks ChatGPT. It's actually quite helpful. Alright, I gotta go to the gym soon, I just realized. Okay. But because we're doing TDD, I'm going to go to our nation test here. And I want to make sure. Actually, didn't even need to really do that. Oh, I want to ask her another question. Her, I just assumed. Say I want to, I want to make a new API for this app. In the nation.rb, does it make sense to do this? I can't even put it into words, but I'm going to add more context to that as well. And nations controller. I don't know why I did it this way. I just want to see what she's. Oh. Okay, cool. I wanted to see if that was like a decent practice or not. By doing that thing in the model, this little where is it? This little thing. Creating a model method that returns the JSON that I want when a certain endpoint is hit. So if we go to our routes. Whoa, dude, come on, computer. Runs so slow. I'm gonna quit Discord for a second here. So when we hit the /APIs/nation/nation ID, that goes to our controller here. Well, as you can see here in our routes, this goes to nations controller show method. So nations controller show method. We're going to define the nation. So we're going to find the nation by the parameter ID. And we're going to say, well, eventually we're going to want to render JSON, which is the details of that nation, but in JSON format. So that's what we're doing here. So we're going to assign this nation show variable, which I guess you could say nation details if you wanted to be whatever. And we're going to call nation.showDetails. So this method in our model, which is here, so nation dot, again, our nation dot show details, and this is just going to return the nation's flag and name, the nation's leader name, and the nation's slug. So that's what gets returned to the user. And that's how that's wired up. Yes, the code you provided makes sense in the context of a Ruby on Rails application following RESTful principles for creating an API. Here's a breakdown. I guess gave us a breakdown. Assuming the flag and leader name methods are defined within the nation model or accessible attributes, and you have the appropriate route for friendly ID functionality, your API should work as expected. However, here are some additional considerations for robustness and error handling. We should do some better error handling. You might want to handle cases where the nation is not found. For instance, define show begin and add a rescue. Ensure that the flag attribute method in the nation model actually provides the flag emoji or appropriate data as intended. Make sure cores is handled properly. Consider versioning your API, which I am considering. Definitely considering. Use serializers if you start to move more complex JSON structures or need to include associations and other. Okay. Can you expand on the last point about serializers? Let's learn more about that. Serializers are a way to package data before sending it as a JSON response in your API. They help you control what data is included in the response and how it's formatted. This is particularly helpful when you have complex data models or need to include related data in a response. But we're definitely going to have to do this. First, we're going to install the app. Excuse me, I was reading this. Install the active model serializer, Jim. Generate a serializer for the nation model. Excuse me, dude. Why is it auto-scrolling? I get a little on edge today. Use a generator to create a serializer for your nation model. RailsG serializer nation. Okay. Define attributes in the serializer. Decide which attributes and methods you want to include in the serialized JSON data and define them in serializer. Okay. This is exactly what we're doing, except we're just doing that here instead of in a serializer. Which it looks like serializer is the way to go. Update the controller to use the serializer. Cool. Handle associations and nested data, which we're absolutely going to need. And conditionally include attributes. Yeah, we need to do all this stuff. So actually the best thing we could do now, good thing we did some little conversational research with ChatGPT, is we're going to implement this serializer system. And we're going to refactor this, and then we're going to run our tests for it. Well, actually the tests should hopefully be the same. So we're going to open up our gem file, and we are going to add active model serializer. Serializer. We are going to shut down the server, and we're going to run bundle install. So just, oh, I've never seen that come up before. Bundle. Everything is slow. That's okay. Okay. Everything is fast again. I will have to leave in a moment. And we're going to reboot our good old server. Our reliable server there. That's all up and running now. Now we need to generate a serializer for the nation model. So let's go ahead and do RailsG serializer. RailsG for generate. Rails generate serializer nation, the name of the model. This is going to create a nation underscore serializer.rb file in our app serializers. Right over here. We open up that folder and immediately gives us an attribute here. Of course, we already know what attributes we want, which is going to be this. Oh gosh. Oh dear. This ID, name, leader name, and slug. Now, if you remember in our nation model, we do this thing when we return name, and of course, just to be clear, name and flag, and these are all attributes of a nation. To be even more explicit on that, if we go to nations in our schema, these are all the attributes that belong to the nation. Attributes are like basically a column and a table. So nations is like an Excel sheet, and then each column is like a column in an Excel sheet. So we got name, flag, ID, leader name is in here somewhere, slug is in here somewhere. Those are the ones we're using. There's a lot more, but those are the ones we're using for now. But we want to return the the name with the flag in it. And so before we were doing this little handy dandy string interpolation of the attributes. And over here in our serializer, we're going to do something similar. So we're going to define a method. We're going to define an attribute called flag with name. And that's going to be the object.flag, object.name. That's interesting. Update the controller to use the serializer. So we will now go to our nation's controller. And in our show method, we still find our nation by ID. And instead, we're just going to render JSON nation. That's all we have to do, huh? Yes, it is. That is absolutely so much better. So we no longer even need this in here. Yay. And the thing that also has added is a rescue. So rescue is going to basically be this thing, active record, record not found, active record. Oh my God, I can't type. Active record, record not found. Rescue active record, record not found. And in this case, we are going to render JSON not found. Cool. That all looks good to me. Firstly, before doing anything, let's go ahead and run our test. RSpec spec, nation spec. That's the test. That's not, is that the test? Well, nope. It's not. But it also failed. So let's just go back here for a second. Request nation spec. Is that what we did? Yeah, request it. Okay, we did run the right test then. Okay. Missing attribute leader name. Missing attribute leader name. Oh no. Well, because if we look at what's changed here, originally we didn't have leader underscore name. We just called it leader, right? And so our test is looking for leader. But really, it's leader. We had a little name change, so it's actually leader underscore name. And it actually tells you we expected this, but we actually got flag with name, ID, leader name, name, slug. So name. So name here and name here is actually supposed to be flag with name. Okay. All right. Let's just rerun this moment for a moment and see if that at least got rid of those guys. It didn't. We're on the right track though. API nations endpoint is hit, should list nations. Render JSON nations select. Active model missing attribute leader name. Oh, wait a second here. Okay. Does it tell me line 6? Sorry, does it tell me where this was, by the way? API nations endpoint is right here. Yes. This is supposed to just return it's a JSON size. Yeah, I'm very confused why I'm not seeing that error. API nations, it should hit list of nations. Failure. Render JSON nations.select. Where is it getting? Where's it getting that from? Where's nations.select? Is that in my other controller? Yeah, it is. So yeah, this is maybe because we're using serialized. This is yeah, this is the issue here. Let me just see what that did for a second here. I'm new to serialized. I think it's clicking now. Yeah, so those pass, but it's probably returning. So those pass, but I don't think that's actually what I wanted, because I think what's going to happen is instead of just getting the slight amount of information we want, I think we're going to get all the attributes of the nation now, which we don't want. This request is going to take a second because it's going to actually hit all, 30,000 nations. So we'll just sadly wait for that. Oh, yeah. So see, what it's returned is all the attributes, and we actually didn't want it to return all the attributes. Not a big deal, because that's where we go back into our serializer. Give me a moment here. I guess my question is, how come the serializer returns for that, but for see, this is where we're okay. Let's ask ChatGPT. How would we adjust nation? Oh, maybe it's no. nation serializer for the following request. Go to my nation's controller. How would we adjust nation serializer for nations index showing all nations, but only the attributes we defined above? When you define a serializer in Rails using active model, it's typically used for both the individual record and the collection. Cool. Yes, that's great. The same set of attributes and custom methods used to define the serializer will apply to each. That's what I thought. However, that's not the case. We have our nations. Render JSON nations. It should reflect the serializer. So let me restart the server. Perhaps that's what we need to do. Yeah, perhaps we will restart the server. Maybe that's all that we had to do there. And then when we hit, see how we're getting all this information. Well, first of all, let's just run the test rather than that whole request. Great. Okay, the test pass. So that means when we hit this request, it's going to take a second. But we will now only see the ID, the name with flag, the leader name, and whatever other attribute it was. Yeah, it looks like that's... We'll wait for it to format here. Very slow because we're testing with thousands and tens of thousands. Yeah, there we go. ID name, leader name, flag with name, slug. Oh, cool. I just had to restart the server. So that's a great refactor. And we added some rescue, some error handling there. Now we got to get the last part of our test to pass. So if we look here, get nation ID. When the user is authenticated, it should return details of a nation. Over here, when the user is authenticated, it should return the details of a nation. And we expect the JSON keys to contain. So we expected flag with name, leader name, and slug. And we got flag with name, ID, leader name, and slug. So there was just some extra elements in what was returned. So we're just going to, this is what we actually want, is those elements there. So we'll go ahead and put those there. And now we should expect all of our tests to pass here. Cool. I'm just going to run our spec, run all of our tests and just make sure that nothing else is broken anything. Okay. Yeah. So in our trade API, this is why we do test-driven development. This is why we do this. You know, we change a little bit of code. We refactored some code in our nations controller, and we think, oh man, this is so much better. Everything is great. And then something completely else in the app breaks. In this case, or something to do with trade, nothing to do with the nation itself. So TDD is really powerful in that case, because instead of deploying the code and finding the bug or hearing bug reports come in, we run the test and we see, uh-oh, that little refactor we just made on the nations controller using the nations serializer to return data has now broken show details in another aspect. So this looks like it's in our API trades endpoint. So let's open up our test file there. That must under API trades. I believe that's here. Find method. Show details. No, sorry. Where is this? Nation from object find. This is probably, or maybe in our trades controller. I have no idea where this is. I should just read. Yes. Yeah. Wow. Ugly, 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 ugly. So what we were doing when we did the refactor, we got rid of the method in our model, the show details method in our nation model. So originally we had, instead of serializing, we basically had a method in the model that returned what we wanted. We've decided to refactor that and just use serializing. But it looks like other parts of the code base were dependent on that method. For example, with our trade model. When we want to show the details of the trade, we also need to pull the details of each nation. And then we return the information about the nations in the trade that has been made. If you're having difficulty visualizing what I'm talking about, let's just look at an example here. Live on the actual app, we see the nation's flag, the nation's name, what they're trading for, and the other nation's flag and nation's name. So all that information is coming back in that request, the details of that trade. And that's where we're getting the nation information here and returning that. But now that we've done that refactor, we're going to have to rewrite this. Now, I don't want to rewrite this. One thing we learned about when we were talking with ChatGPT earlier about serializing and why it's beneficial. Let's see if we can pull that up. One of the things she talked about was like, hey, here we go. Share, nested data. I don't know where it is in the conversation, but we're talking about nested data, which is exactly what this is pretty much. We have to get data from two different models in the same JSON that's being returned. And so let's ask ChatGPT how she would do that. Okay. So now that we have gotten rid of the show details method in the nation model and refactored to use nation serializer, let me make sure that the word's correct. Yeah. Instead, now our trade.rb model tests fail model needs to be refactored. Can you help look at the code? Why would I ever use my brain when ChatGPT can do it for me? Since you've refactored the code to use nation serializer to show details, you can update the trade model to serialize the nation objects using nation serializer. So this is how we would use the nation serializer in another model, I guess. Cool. You can update the trade model to serialize the nation objects using nation. This will keep the serialization logic consistent and encapsulated within the serializer. Here's how you can do it. Okay. Is this method, is this the best practice? I'm curious. Watch a big, no, it's not. No. Using serializers is indeed considered a best practice. Cool. However, there's always room to consider context and specific use cases. For instance, okay, the gem which we are using is one way, but you might also consider some other ways. Huh, okay. It's also essential to handle cases where the nation find by ID could return nil. Yeah. Which she mentioned before. So in our show details, I guess what we would do is instead of calling that method, we would just have these two thingies here, which I don't know. I don't know how much I like that, but I don't like this at all, to be honest. And we'll probably have a trade serialize too. But anyway, let's just run our test and see if that helps. That would be in the request API trade spec. Cool. Yeah, so now we just have a difference of, uh-oh, Kiwi's back. Oh God, is Kiwi here? So Wait a minute. Oh, is that Kiwi? Is Jacade21 Kiwi? Because there's two usernames. There's Jade, Jayde, and Jacade, and I got you guys confused, I think, on accident. Yes. What's up, Kiwi? How you doing? Long time no see. Oh, old account. Okay. Fair enough. Okay, so looks like now the only issue we're having here is expectation versus reality. And we actually want the reality instead of our expectation. So we're going to go back to the trades test file. I feel like my brain is very slow. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, that would all be the same. Yeah. This is what's going to change. And as well, so we expected leader name slug. We got that, the missing elements for that. So actually, I think we should pass. I'm doing great. Yeah, I have to, oh, look at that. And now that those tests passed, let's run all of our tests and make sure we didn't blow anything else up. And our tests have all passed. So I'm doing great, Kiwi. I actually have to go to the gym. Probably have to leave in the next couple minutes. I know you just got here. What a bummer. Which is upsetting. But hey, check this out. Hopefully the stream is of decent quality. But I've made some improvements to the stream. I got a stream deck, so I have all these shortcuts. And I have sound effects. Thank you. Thank you. So that, I don't know why, but it was funny, you know? Yeah, I know. So I'm really happy. And now I know everything. You know, I can get direct feedback from you guys. Like, don't you guys love this stream? Exactly. And I can control the volume and stuff. It's pretty cool, these little Elgato Stream Deck things. Anyway, welcome back. It's been a long time. Glad to see you here. You came at just the perfect time because of course I have to go, but I'll stream later. We made some good progress. By the way, I don't know if you saw any of the other videos I released earlier this week when I was kind of starting to get back to the stream and everything. But in essence, we are rebuilding BitNations. We're doing test-driven development to rewrite a new API to launch a new version of a better, newer, more robust version of BitNations. And that will set us up for releasing the mobile app of the game. And the mobile app of the game will have a bunch of new features that you guys have requested, maps, the war bugs, all that kind of stuff. It's probably going to take a while. I'm going to stream most of it. And it's a very relaxed stream. So I'm kind of going through everything nice and mellow. Yeah, that's right. So if you have any feedback, by the way, let me know if the stream is a decent quality. I know on Twitch it streams decently. YouTube's like it's 50-50. Okay, so reflecting on this, we actually just added serializers. I'm doing this new thing now where I break up my commits to smaller things. Git commit, add the serializer gem. And then what we did here was these changes, these were two different commits that were dependent on each other. So I don't know if I should just make one big commit here or if I should make one commit. I think I'll break it up. I think I'll say first, wait a second, where's our serialize file? Didn't we generate a whole new file for this for Asian serializer? Right here. Wait, why isn't, hold on, am I crazy? Controllers, models, wait. Am I losing my, oh, I guess I committed that. I did commit that. Okay, that's fine. I should put it this commit, but it's not a big deal. So we're gonna add the nation's controller. We're gonna add the nation model, and we're gonna add the nation spec, and we're gonna say serialize nations and pass nations tests, and then refactor trades. Is that in the model? Trade show details. It's not even a refactor. Basically, we just have to make that pass the test. What we should do is actually refactor trade to use serialize as well. So rewrite trade show details to use nation serialize and pass tests. Cool. Sweet. All right, perfect timing. We got to the end there. I'm gonna go to the gym. I'll be back in a couple hours. So Kiwi, it was good seeing you, but I will see you again soon. Oops, I hit the booing one on accident. All right. See ya.